Thank you. I will call this work session to order, and we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Good evening. Welcome to the public work session of the Rochester Community Schools Board of Education. Welcome to those of us who are here in person. It's great to see all of our principals and educators here and members of the public. Welcome also to those of us who are watching on YouTube Live at home. As a reminder, this is a public work session of the Board of Education. It is not a public hearing. We do have several ways for the public to engage during our meetings, however. First of all, members of the public can request to be on the agenda. Tonight, one member of the public has made that request. There's a form on the website for those who are interested in the future. Second, at the end of the meeting, we do have time for public comments. To participate, please fill out a yellow card. The yellow cards are at the table by the door, and please hand them in to Kristina Whitmore, or you can just hand them in at the end of the table and we can get those to her. That's so that we can have your name, your proper name for our minutes. When you're addressing the board, you have 3 minutes to speak. We will let you know when you have 30 seconds remaining. When addressing the board, please state your name and your relationship to the district. We will not be answering direct questions or responding to comments tonight, but we'll make sure someone follows up with you to address your concerns. Additionally, I'd like to read section 0153 of our Board of Education bylaws, which are guidelines for public participation at board meetings. This section requires individuals who wish to address the board to direct their comments to the entire board and not to individual board members, the superintendent, or other school district employees or members of the audience. This prohibits behavior that is intemperate, abusive, defamatory, or discourteous, or that otherwise interferes with the orderly conduct and timely completion of the board meeting. And we will exclude from the meeting any individual who engages in conduct that constitutes a breach of peace. We ask that you please silence your phones. And once again, on behalf of my colleagues on the board, we're grateful to serve this community and we appreciate your support. Item 2 on our agenda is roll call. Kevin Beers and Scott Muska are absent tonight with notice. And I'd like to turn the meeting over to Dr. Shaner. Thank you. Item 3 on our agenda, communications. Item 3.1, communications from the Secretary of the Board of Education, Michelle. Thank you. Item 3.2, citizens requesting placement on the agenda. We have one citizen, and that's Andrew Weaver. There's a microphone right here. Yeah.
We spent $104,000 on a lawyer. How much of that was spent sending cease and desist letters to parents for asking questions,
Please wrap
for
up,
pointing
Andrew.
out these things?
Please
And
wrap up your
everyone up here
comments.
that voted,
Andrew,
we
your time's
absolutely
up.
had resources.
Thank you. Members of the Board of Education, any communications that you'd like to detail? Thank you. The only correspondence I've had that hasn't been mentioned, I did have a phone call with City Council, Rochester Hills City Council President Ryan Deal, and we talked about many different things, but he did want me to share his support for the board and for the administration. I had a phone call with Rochester City Council member Mark Albrecht, and we talked about several different things, but he also wanted to share his support for the board and the administration. And I've had a couple exchanges with Mark Tisdall, State Representative Mark Tisdall, just looking for clarity on different things that are happening in the community. So moving on. So our work session will begin. We have 2 items tonight. We'll be talking about our first item is an early childhood update, and our second item is MTSS, multi-tiered systems of support and learning pathways update. And I will turn this over to Concetta and Corey. Yep, thank you. Yeah, just a reminder to try to stay as close to the mic as you can. I know it's hard. Thank you, though. And we'll let you go ahead with item 2. Thank you all for presenting. And I would love a work session where we just hear stories all night, because I think those were all really great. And I appreciate you putting yourselves out there and actually taking the time to come here tonight and share with us. And I just wanted to mention the video from Bill Daggett. That was so crazy to watch right now, because I remember leaving that meeting and we were all like, when can we get started? When can we have late start or early start or block schedules? Or we had all these ideas, and we had the work session afterwards, and we had more ideas, and it's just, it's almost come a little bit full circle because we've had to try some of these things and we've learned a lot from it. And I do appreciate the future focused, I guess, theme to this entire presentation. I could tell that went into it. And I just also wanted to give a shout out to the 700 teachers with master's degrees. I don't even know I don't know what to say about that. I knew we had many teachers with master's degrees. I had no idea we had that many. All of their teachers are great. I'm sure the ones that don't have a master's degree are probably in some process of trying to get one, but kudos to all of them. What questions do we have? And I think that's a great way to close out this presentation, because the only thing I was going to say is that it's really hard through the fog of the pandemic to find positives. It's really hard, but this presentation really focused on those positives, and I appreciate that. It focused on access and flexibility, and some of our students and families need that. I mean, many of them do, and so appreciate that. I so appreciate your enthusiasm. This was a great presentation, and thank you for being here. So we're wrapping up our meeting. We have citizens present at the meeting. I have 3 yellow cards. If you do wish to address the board, you can fill out a yellow card, which is on the table in the corner. You can just go ahead and hand those. Andrea, can you just have them collect? You can just go ahead and hand those to Andrea and she can pass them down. I have Margaret Simmons. And when you address the board, just as a reminder, please state your name and your relationship to the district, and then you have 3 minutes. Thank you. I have Chris Monette. Thank you. Joshua Raymond.
Are you guys comfortable with me following the MASB 12-foot guidance and removing my mask?
I don't know what to say about that. We really do require the masks at the meeting. We're all wearing them. If that's okay, please,
All right.
please comply.
I will.
Please wrap up.
I will. And some.
Thank you for your comments. Your time's up. Thank you.
We have 1,000 kids
Thank you.
who need your help.
Thank you. Sorry about that microphone. You might want to try the other one.
All right, this one better? Okay.
Please
Our
wrap up.
community
Thanks.
deserves a thorough and complete explanation for how these real estate expenditures are aligned with the singular focus of giving our children the best education possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Julie Stalker, please wrap up your comments. Thanks.
Parents should not be
Thank you. Barb Rill. Thank you. Alan Schneck. Thank you. I'll just say that that quote means a lot to a lot of us up here. I don't know if you knew that, and to some sitting in the audience who have sat up here before us. Appreciate it. I have nothing further. Does anyone have anything further? Go ahead.
Great evening.
Thank you for being back, Dr. Shaner. I'll take a motion to adjourn the work session. Moved by Mike, seconded by Michelle. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. It's 9:50. Meeting's adjourned.